Welcome down to the Malton Man Cave. I'm Keith.
I'm Dave.
Tonight we're going to be going to Orkney and probably reviewing the most expensive whiskey that we've ever done. All right, so tonight we're going to be reviewing Highland Park 25, courtesy of Mike from Mike's Whiskey Reviews. As you know, we trade a lot of bottles back and forth, and this time I think I got the better end of the deal. He got more bottles for me than I did, but his were more expensive. So thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
So tonight we are doing Highland Park 25. So a little bit about Highland Park. I think I said this like literally 2 years ago in like a Highland Park 18 video. So I think it's 1798 was when it's supposedly supposed to be founded by an illegal distiller known as Magnus Junsen. I'm not sure if he was a pastor or if he actually knew the pastor and hid his illegal stocks under the pulpit, kind of taking the angel share to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Highland Park is one of my favorite distilleries. It's not in my top 5, but if most of the whiskeys that Highland Park made nowadays were like this, it might be in my top 3.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're kind of going, they're really taking the whole Magnus Junsen, and they're kind of have history and connections with Scandinavia and like the Vikings, and so they're doing all these like Vikings, which was kind of cool at first, but now it's kind of overkill, and they're coming out with all these kind of lower end NES, and they're kind of getting away from their like 5 pillars, which always used to mean they always used sherry cask and everything, and now they're coming out with whiskeys that don't have sherry maturation. I'm sure you might be excited about that, although you've been coming around to sherry.
Yeah.
And I think from
they've been
first
pretty agreeable sherries too.
You enjoyed this one so far. So Highland Park, we will put, I don't have the exact breakdown of the cask maturation, but we will put it right there. Highland Park, they're known, they have their own maltings right there at the facility. One of the old school ones. They open the windows for temperature control.
Yeah.
And I think they actually mix, 20% of their barley is peated to about 20 ppms. And then the rest of it in each kind of bottle whiskey.
It's just the faintest bit of smoke to me.
And then the 20% at ppm, 20 ppm barley is added with 80% unpeated, which I think they get their malted barley from northern Scotland.
Northern Scotland.
Anything else I want to say about Highland Park? So they actually get their peat, like Campbelltown, they get their peat from Isla, and other, I think, other places get their peat from different places, but they actually get their peat from the island of Orkney.
Sources.
So, and Orkney has a lot of heather, which peat is just decomposed, plant matter or whatever, dead people and
cake,
crap and whatever else is in there. You get all kinds of biological composite. But so their smoke is a little bit different. I would kind of describe it as kind of honeyed smoke with some white pepper. It's a little bit more mild, and I actually really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, I love all the types of, I like Benromic peat, I like, obviously, Isla and Campbelltown, but Highland Park is a little more unique, and I definitely do enjoy it. So, without further ado, me blabbing too much, let's get into some whiskey.
Please, sir. I feel kind of bad. I haven't given Mike's bottles too many high reviews.
I may have to give you a
No. We're good. We're generous. Host. The mooch.
Sweet nectar.
The mooch enjoys. The mooch will imbibe.
The mooch will. This is your whiskey of the week.
If you, what did I said something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What were you, let's talk about 1995.
What?
The year that this was conceived.
What was I doing in 1995?
Right?
What were you doing in 1995?
1995. So that would have put us, 11 years old or so?
Yeah.
12 years old?
You weren't at Miami View yet, were you?
No. Well, no, yeah, it was. 12.
Yeah.
We probably just met. Dude, we were getting ready to go down to, you know what we were doing? We were hitting Panama City Beach.
That's right.
Yeah. They had MTV Spring Break there. And we
were creeps in the background.
We
What's
were looking
going on there?
We were coming down the beach. We walked so far looking for it.
So what do you get on the schnoz?
All right, let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
So I wrote apple pie, just great desserts. So apple pie, mint chocolate chip ice cream. It reminds me a little bit of ginger, like ginger ale or ginger that comes in sushi. You like sushi?
Yeah. No, I don't like all sushi, but there's some sushi I like.
There's definitely a strong vanilla. My mom just came back from some Caribbean island with this vat of vanilla.
She always gets a ton of vanilla every time.
Every time. Who uses that much vanilla? Actually, I use a lot of vanilla. It's very cooling when you put your nose in it. It's a very nice sensation. Burnt matchstick is what I wrote for smoke. It's very light smoke, talking to him. And then I wrote spicy or heat. I don't know yet.
So for me, it's like demerara sugar, maraschino cherries. It's just so candied. And mellow, it's like full of flavor, but also mellow at the same time. So sometimes smoothness can be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like it's lacking the flavor, but this is like full of flavor, but also like smooth and mellow at the same time. Eucalyptus, you said you got kind of mint. Same thing. Eucalyptus. Like a toffee, like you can literally, a lot of people say toffee, but this is like a toffee glaze. Like it's just like the texture is like of like a glaze on there, on the nose and obviously on the palate.
I like that description.
Oh my gosh. Vanilla, candied like almonds and pistachios. Honeydew melon, heather honey. Oh my word. Like, it's just one of the best noses I've ever. It's just such a fantastic whiskey. And then you get like kind of the honeyed smoke with a little bit of white pepper. And there's probably 10 or 12 or 20 more notes in there, but that's kind of the basic. Just super candied, super complex.
Kind of gosh. Yeah.
Anything else you get?
Nope.
Onto the palate?
Yeah. Cheers to
so
that.
So this is about a $700 to $1,000 whiskey.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll ever be buying that on my own unless I hit the jackpot. So I'll stay friends with Mike, and I'll mooch from him.
Man,
you're not the only mooch. I do mooch. I do mooch too.
We're all mooching.
It's the circle of life.
The circle
of mooching.
Trademark that for our t-shirts coming out 2022. Mint chocolate chip again. I couldn't really describe that mintiness. And I also, my mom used to do this thing where if we didn't have any treats in the house, she would toast some toast, and then put some sugar and some butter and some cinnamon on toast.
I love this whiskey so much. I'm like making sex noises.
You're
like, oh yeah.
Every time I look over so as I'm talking, he's like, oh yeah. Let's get it on.
It's so good. I can make love to this whiskey.
And I wrote that when you take a drink of it, the heat of it or the spiciness or whatever, it exponentially grows quicker and quicker, and then it goes away really quick. But you still get a little bit of that heat that stays, and it reminded me a lot of wasabi. Yeah.
It actually does, like on the end of the palate and almost into the finish.
Yeah. Reminds me of wasabi.
Look at you, connoisseur. It really does.
Yeah.
I did not get that at all.
Yeah, it reminds me of wasabi.
At the very end, it's like this.
And I like wasabi, so yeah.
It's not too much, because like...
No.
I think even actually you did... I just saw a mouse go by. I've been looking for that dude. I'm gonna get you later. I'm like down here doing notes and watching like Netflix, and I hear him like scratching above in the woodwork.
Dude, Ryan lives in Arizona, and they have orange trees, and they have rats, like tens of rats, like really? Maybe 20 or 30 that like scurry all around their backyard, and they look like cats.
But coming back to the wasabi, I think. No, I don't know if somebody like there was like, hey, Keith, try this. It's like, okay, and it was like a big old chunk like that.
That wasn't me. I would have done it.
I was like, no. But I do like a little bit of wasabi. You know, like put it in like the soy sauce.
Yeah, mix it up, make a little. Yeah, I agree.
And good call, man.
Yeah, so a little bit of wasabi. That burnt matchstick, that smoke, that light peatiness, that sweet peat. And then the last thing I couldn't describe it. What was it? As I'm looking at the non-existent board, that toffee glaze kind of thing. Have you ever had a cow tail before?
Yeah, I can get that.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the cow tail. Yeah, that caramel and like a white sugary sugar thing.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely has that white sugary.
Yeah.
Like frosting-ish.
Yeah.
So
how
for
about
me,
you, man?
Chocolate-covered maraschino cherries, Heath bar, like toffee glaze, salted pistachios, candied pistachios, a little bit of eucalyptus, the wasabi. Tutti Frutti bubblegum.
I got you on that, man.
I've been getting that a lot lately. A lot of times with Springbank. Springbank 15, I get that a lot. Honeyed, like a little bit there's a little meat, like honeyed ham. It's real slight. It's not like as strong as you get with like a Springbank sometimes, or like Ben Romac or some of the other.
But there's definitely that
it's like
savory
a slight honeyed ham in there with all the candied, sweets, boiled sweets, almost like, you get like in Europe and like the confectionery shops. It's like a boiled sweeties.
Keith's a well-traveled man.
Grape, salted caramel.
Mm-hmm. Just all good
Anything
notes.
else you got?
All good notes. All good things, Mike. Thank you for this.
Sherry can be pretty good.
Yeah. Look at me.
All right, what about the finish?
So you
honeycomb cereal too.
Yeah. With you on that. The
kind of barley cereal,
the malt
with the honey and heather honey.
Yeah. I was gonna write long, sweet with a little bit of heat, but the heat is up at the beginning, and it just kind of just goes away, and it's pretty long. I think it's my first long one in a while. Mm-hmm. So long. The sweetness stays. Mintiness is part of that, or the eucalyptus is a good way to describe that. Yeah, man.
That wasabi note is on point, man. There's also a little bit of mellow, like you can tell there's good aging on this. Like the oak is like there, but it's mellow. Yeah. And there's that little like spiciness of wasabi, maybe a little honeyed ham. I would say it's medium to long. No, like the wasabi sticks around for a while, but like some of the candied like fruits and red fruits, it kind of goes away. Yeah. So that'd be my only real negative, is that some of those flavors, like the really candied flavors, don't stick around quite as long, but it's medium to long.
And if you notice, I didn't really get too many sherry notes at all throughout this whole thing, and I think that's part of what I love about it.
I know this isn't like at all like, we're going to put the cask maturation, but I think it's only like 30 or 40% like first fill sherry or sherry is in it.
Oh, so
bourbon maturation, I think, for the rest of it. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Malted Man Cave Mark, what are you going to give this?
Let me think about it.
I'll do the same.
Mike at Mike's Whiskey Reviews, dude, this is fantastic. Keith, thank you for sharing with him and allowing him to share with us. This is one of the best. This is the best sherried whiskey I've ever had, I think.
Wow.
One of them. I can't remember too much that stands out. I've had a lot of them really recently too. This is fantastic. I'm gonna give it a 94.
Woo!
A 94.
I'm gonna top you up one, man.
A 94.
95 out of 100 for me. This is one of the best whiskeys I've ever had.
Yeah,
I think there's one or two other ones that I might say just a little bit better than this.
Yeah.
If this was at cask strength, I think this is at what? Let me find it. 45.7 ABV. If this was at cast strength, this would probably take the cake of all time.
Yeah.
But at cast strength, this would be unbelievable. So 95 out of 100 for me. The only reason I want to be like a 96 or even higher is probably because of the ABV, and probably because the finish isn't like incredibly long. It's not a bad finish at all. It's just not like legendary.
Right.
So 94 out of 100.
94.
95 for me.
Yeah.
We wanted to know, how really worried should we be about the coronavirus?
What are we doing?
How worried are you about the coronavirus?
Well, my wife came home with jugs of water the other day for the first time in our married life. So 10 years.
Like, we're going back to Y2K?
10
Is
years.
it going to get on that level? Y2K level?
My dad got out and primed the generator that he bought for Y2K, which is never a bad idea to have a generator if you can afford a generator. So how worried am I about the coronavirus? I am, I'm not that worried, because it is going to hit all of us, and it's gonna be like the flu, which nobody in such an open boundary place like the United States, well, you can't contain it unless you are doing like where the reserves come in and shut down highway systems and things like that. And that would be absolute chaos. And I hope it never gets that. I don't think it's going to get to that point. Because I just, honestly, I feel like I have faith in our sewage and our trash companies.
And they'll probably have a vaccine in like a couple of months.
And I know it's not that necessarily. It's more like transmitting it person to person, which is going to happen because I just
still a little concerned, but not like as hysterical as
I'm not stupid about it.
Yeah.
I want to be ready for it. I bought some respirator cartridges for my.
Oh, wow. So you're more worried about it than I am.
No, because I needed them anyways, and I've been wanting to. So anyways, yeah.
So I believe. Obviously, we should always be. It's better to be safe than sorry, and it does seem like the mortality rates are a little bit worse than the flu, and it does seem like it's a little bit more like contagious. It's a little bit more easily spreadable. But I think that they're doing a little overkill on this a little bit more.
Media is selling a lot of ad revenue right now. Yeah. They're doing pretty well with the old coronavirus and the election together.
Not to get too political, but I think that there are some political things at play to try and hurt the economy. And I'm not saying whether I like that or not. Actually, either regardless of which candidate I wanted, I wouldn't. Like, there's some people that want it. They want a recession just to because of which candidate they want to win. I think that's just sad. I want Americans to do good no matter what, regardless of what idiots in the White House.
I want to make influenza great again.
But
we were just having an argument about
influenza
and coronavirus.
If coronavirus obviously could get worse in the United States. Obviously, it's really bad in Italy and obviously in China. But it's really not bad at all in the United States yet. Like, the flu is like way bigger deal. And
coming though.
Way more people have died. And I'm not
saying... Wash your hands, people. Wash your hands.
And I'm not saying that the coronavirus is going to get more serious. And it may. But the hysteria is out of control.
Well, it's not productive either. So let's say worst case scenario, like what we were talking numbers-wise, right? 3% is...
And that's a little bit high, I think. Seeing some of the things that I've read.
3% mortality rate. Which
I think is a little bit lower than that.
With coronavirus so far. COVID-19, so 300 people, 3 people are going to die.
And that's typically with people with, low autoimmune systems, older, maybe they're really young.
And then we were looking up that 0.1 number that gets thrown around for influenza was 2 studies that was done in like the 50s and the 60s. When there was this huge outspread of influenza and they were able to measure it on a mass scale, reasonably well researched wise. And that's about 0.1.
Which I've seen some higher estimates.
Which also, but everything that I've read about the difference in the coronavirus and the flu is that the coronavirus you've got like a dry cough for a long time, and you're spreading it. It's like you feel fine, but you're coughing on people.
Yeah.
Hey, here's some COVID-19. Whereas the flu is you get the flu. Like I was holding Beckett, who just
it's dormant for a lot longer, right? The COVID,
yeah,
right?
COVID can stay, is what they think.
So I'm not saying that we shouldn't be safe,
Yeah.
and we should take precautions, but I think people need to pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Like literally, we're like, I think the media and other people just with their hysteria. It's like literally like sending like the worldwide economy and the stock market into like really big problems, and I don't think that's smart for any of us.
Every hospital is saying please, and every emergency response is saying don't buy all the product and like hoard it like at your house.
My wife was told like if she's I think going to North Carolina or South Carolina like in like a month or so.
Oh yeah.
And like because she works at a nursing home.
Yeah.
She does directing and marketing, a director of marketing and admissions or whatever. So like they said, if you go to a state and there's a confirmed case, you have to take 14 days PTO.
There's a confirmed case in Ohio now, so she gets.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So I don't know because didn't that just happen today or yesterday?
Yeah. Well, you know what, nursing home.
I get it, and
that nursing home out in California.
So for someone who is like being like pump the brakes on this, it is more. We need to be more considerate of the elderly because they are more at risk. So I would only be real. I'm not. If I was old, I'd be kind of worried about this, but I'm not worried at all.
There's a nursing home in quarantine right now in California, and like they won't let them out.
Well, there's people on cruise ships who like need like cancer treatment. They're like not letting them off. I understand. You know, we're better at being safe than sorry, but it's just wow.
So I read a tweet from I forget. But there's 100,000 kids in the New York public school system that are homeless. Essentially, is what they said. But meaning they don't go to the same place every night after school. They might go to an aunt's house or whatever. And that 100,000, if they close schools like they are in Italy, what are they going to do with those 100,000 kids?
Oh yeah,
that's going to be
poor Corona. So
rest in peace.
I told my wife before I saw any sales, I was like, I bet you this is going to hit Corona's sales really hard.
Have you seen an ad for Corona?
No,
you haven't, have you?
Because they're trying to go underground. They don't want any name recognition.
Oh my goodness, I haven't seen an ad for Corona in forever.
So Highland Park,
rest in peace, Corona,
and the coronavirus. It's a good pairing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys as always for watching. Please like, subscribe. Don't forget the notifications bell. And as always, Scotch is definitely king.
And you know what? Sometimes Scotch is king.